Guys, Jared over at Knives Knives sent me a box of stuff from a bunch of companies I'd never heard of, and one of them is from a company called Warblade Knives. So this is first impressions, blind review. Let's go ahead and turn this around and look at what I've discovered in first day of carry. Guys, I love getting new stuff in, but I'm not going to lie to you. I like seeing new companies and stuff like that. This one's kind of a miss for me, but we'll get into it. It does have some good points. We're going to look some good and some bad on this first day in carry. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking here. So this is Warblade's Amubis. Let's get the box out of the way and take a quick look at this knife. Now this is a South African company. I didn't look up price or anything, but I did see that it's a South African company. Apparently this number 37 of 60, so it's a limited run. So if you do like this knife, I apologize, good luck. It is a flipper in titanium and Elmax. Now you guys know I love Elmax. I haven't done enough cutting with this to tell you whether the heat treat on this Elmax is very good or not, but it is a nice thin profile. So you've got a unique-ish looking knife. It's got a very slim handle back here, nice finger guard, and I admit, even though there's a lot of negative stuff about this knife so far that I've found today, it is very comfortable. The pocket clip's really comfortable. The pocket clip sits in the pocket nice. This texturing on here is not jimping, but you've got a really good grip on this because it's on all of those chamfered areas except for the very heel of the knife, and it gives it a comfortable grip. It's not quite jimping, but it definitely is tactile enough that you can feel, you get some feel to it, and it doesn't feel slippery. The pocket clip is attractive, as is the blade and the overall profile of the knife. It is a nice broad blade that comes down to a fairly thin behind the edge profile with good jimping. This is all good stuff we're talking about. Really good jimping on this. The stonewash on the titanium is something that not a lot of companies do, and I dig it. I forget how much I love it, but it does have a tendency to snail trail. You get some scratches on this like darker blast and tumble, but it's still really attractive. The feel in hand is not bad at all. It aligns with the cut nicely in my hand. It doesn't want to roll, even though it's a fairly slender knife this way. It's nice and broad this way, which means it fills your hand nice. And then this curvature back here, it does not at all feel like it's going to slide out of your hand. You've got a good secure grip on it with this nice curvature back here. The action on it, it is a very, very snappy knife. Really, really snappy. And you've got some thumb studs on here as well. And then as far as the cutting I've done so far, it cuts fairly well because, like I said, nice broad blade, comes down to a decent behind the edge thickness, and I'm not seeing an issue with where they terminated their grind. I don't think this is really, you might get a tiny bit of a one here, but you're not having a big ramp up or smile on this. And the flipper tab is very comfortable for deployment. It's not a flipper tab that is too sharp. They didn't even put any jimping on it, which I can appreciate. They didn't put any jimping on it, and they did not leave any hot spots here. There's no real hot spots on this knife, even though it looks like it's got some angular spots on it and stuff. So far today in carry, it has not felt sharp at all anywhere except the edge, which is where you want it. That's the only spot that should be sharp on the knife. And then really easy to carry because of the weight. It's a bigger knife. I mean, it's a fairly decent sized knife, coming in at 8.25 on the mat-ish, 8.25. But there's a lot of weight reduction in here, which means that it's got a nice balance, and it's not real heavy, and it's not a big pocket hog. Even it's kind of a beefy knife. It doesn't take up a lot of space in pocket. And then there was one other thing I wanted to point out. Oh yeah, they did something a lot of companies don't do. Sometimes this edge here, when you deploy the flipper, especially when it's got a really strong detent like this, you flip it down and there's a sharp spot here. And they did not do that. Now, those are all the good things, but there is a myriad of bad things about this knife so far. And I really, one of them is kind of a game stopper, a showstopper for me. So let's turn this around and we're going to look at flip side of the story, flip side of the knife. So there's a lot of things at play here as to why this is a really good knife. It's well made and everything. There's a lot of stuff on it for me that just is stuff that I don't like. There's two of them that are almost, I mean, two of them, they're almost, one of them's almost a showstopper and one of them is, and oh no, it's surprised, it's shocked that I'm talking badly about it. like I said, as far as all the good stuff, it's good. First thing I noticed, this is very sharp, it's very angular, and it's close enough to here to the pocket clip that it pushes the pocket material down in, and you struggle with getting it in your pocket, and on this one out of pocket a little bit. Not as much as the in. Coming out of the pocket, the material's already here and it just glides off. But getting this in pocket, especially on thicker pants, I have some new jeans, and I always do. I always say I have 511s. That thicker pocket and that reinforced pocket material on a pair of 511s, it catches, and you're just fighting. And it felt like I was pulling my pants down. That is one of those things that really drives me nuts. If you're going to go ahead and go to all the trouble of doing this, knock that hard edge off all the way back. Like, the only part that's important, you don't want to remove material, is down here. This top edge, absolutely run a bit around it and do a quick chamfer. Next thing, it is a little weird in hand. I think I would get used to it. This is one of those knives that I think I will get used to, but at first, as much as I said it's comfortable in hand, it's comfortable, but it also feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's rolling out of the cut, but it's not actually rolling out of the cut, but it kind of feels like it is. You know what I mean? Some knives I get and they just roll out of the cut like that. It's not doing that, but it kind of feels like it is. And I think part of that has to do with the size of this forward choil, where I can't get my full finger up in it. And so I'm like halfway in, halfway out. There's several knives that have that problem. Now I can readjust my grip. That's not a big deal. But when I do readjust my grip, then it does want to roll out. So when I get in it like the natural grip, it just feels a little off. I don't like the placement of the lanyard hole. I've said that so many times that I don't like lanyard holes in the back here. You've got a backspacer, you could have easily put a pin. And I mean, it gets your attention. Like I said, it looks surprised, like, oh no. It's just off-putting to me to put a big ugly lanyard hole in it in what could be a really attractive knife, if not just a unique looking knife. Now, those are just aesthetic things. Now we're getting a couple things that are just almost, this one's almost a showstopper for me. If you guys remember back a while back, I had the Vero Isotope on, and I said that they had removed material from one side as opposed to the other, and this is lower on the lock side than it is on, just slightly, but it's lower here than it is here, which means that's exactly counterintuitive as to what I want. Let me show you real quick, because it's in my pocket. It's not just a plug for my knife. See how that's a little higher than the material here, so you can get in on it? You can't do that with this knife. It's awkward to do it, and they removed material here and made it thin here, so that means it's even harder to get down in there. And then it's sharp right there, sharp edge. So access to the lock bar is really pretty bad. But this is the one that's a showstopper for me. I just can't, you can't deploy that. The thumb studs are next to, ooh, that hurts. They're next to useless. They are next to useless. You can't even, oh geez. Like, I had to use my thumbnail to do it. That's a showstopper for me. If you're going to put thumb studs on it, I'm going to use them. I love thumb studs. I like thumb stud deployment, especially reverse flick off of a thumb stud. It is painful to use the thumb studs on this, not just because they're sharp, because the detent on this is just aggressively hard. I don't mind a stiff detent, but if you're going to put thumb studs on it, they should be done in a fashion where you can use them. So I don't think this is a knife for me. I am going to give it the best possible chance. I will carry it and see. I might take it apart and see if I can lube things up to make it work a little bit. But oh, I can't even do it, guys. I can't even do it. You know, guys, I got tough thumbs. So this for me right now is a nah. And I did look up the price. It's South African. When you do the conversion, they're like $218, which, like, I haven't seen. They have another model. It may be something you guys like, but for me, with the negatives on it, that price just doesn't translate. When I did the conversion, it came out like $218 American when I converted it from the South African currency. So, like I said, we will carry it. We'll give it a good shot, but right now on it, I'm a nope. So, guys, let's turn this around. Do some final thoughts. Send you out about your day. Yeah, guys, it happens every once in a while. Like I said in the video, I am going to give this the best possible chance, but there's a lot of stuff on this I don't like, and things that remind me of the Vero knives Isotope, where I found problems with lock bar access and things like that. But we shall see how it pans out over the next couple weeks. So, Guys, that's it on this one. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. You don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why. Can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, tons of affiliate links down below. Use those links if you're going to buy any knives and stuff. Blade HQ, GP Knives, Knives Ship Free, tons of affiliate links down there. And there's a couple of them that have discounts. Oh, Amazon store. Take that Amazon store, pin it to your browser, use it for all your Amazon shopping. It supports the channel. None of those cost you extra. As a matter of fact, 2 of them have discounts built in. Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail, discount 10% off just for using that link. Some of the best coffee you're going to find, drinking some of it right now. And Tempered Trail, hand-stitched leather wallets, the toughest outdoor laces for hiking boots you're ever going to find. I have a membership down below if you want to support that way. I also have a coupon code that will save you 10% at Fair and Forge Knife Works, Rosecraft Blades, and KATSU Knives, who is doing my folding knife called the Habu. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I have a public Discord down below. You can join that if you want. It says join the community. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.